It's good to have you back. So Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula says that all expired driver's licenses must be renewed by no later than the end of this month. And if yours is expired, you have exactly 3 weeks now to get cracking on getting a new disc. However, on the other hand, Afriforum is not having it. They're demanding the grace period for renewals to be extended for a reasonable period. So let's get some clarity and more from Afriforum's Rainer Duvenacher, who joins me now to take this conversation further. Rainer, good to have you and good morning to you. Why is the 3 weeks grace period or, extension by the Transport Minister not sufficient in your view?
Good morning. Yes, as soon as Minister Fikile Mbalula announced that the grace period would not be extended after 31 March of this year, we immediately instructed our lawyers to prepare a legal letter to the department demanding that the grace period be extended for a further reasonable period of time. The reason why this has to be done and why it's unacceptable to end the grace period on the 31st of March of this year is because there have been extreme delays at the Department of Transport due to COVID-19, but also due to systemic failures such as the license card printer not working and having to be repaired in Germany. There have also been systemic failures and deep-rooted problems at the Department of Transport for I dare say, a couple of decades now. So this is a very serious problem. But what we cannot have is that members of the public are punished for something out of their control. So let's say if they took all the necessary steps to renew their licenses and everything, they did everything on their behalf, but the department still deciding to punish them for something out of their control. And this is simply unacceptable.
Yeah. So as it stands, the deadline for renewals is the 31st of March. You're preparing a legal letter through your lawyers to actually challenge it. Should it still not be extended, what's then the next step for Afriforum?
Well, what we're also planning on doing is perhaps taking on a trial case. So in the event that the grace period is not extended and members of the public are being punished by the department for driving with invalid licenses or expired licenses, and they took all the necessary steps to renew those licenses, we would like to take on then, or we're consulting with our lawyers to consider the possibility of taking on a trial case, which would then set the precedent that it's in fact illegal for the department to punish members of the public for something that is actually being caused by the department's own failure. So that is something we're considering, but we also, in general, at the forefront of the fight for better service delivery at the Department of Transport.
Yeah, I want to repeat the point you're making about the government's failure. You call them deep-rooted systematic failures. Where do you think the government missed the ball here when it comes to renewals of licenses and licenses?
Well, I think it's just a symptom of general failure at the Department of Transport. It came under our attention at the end of last year. We had a lot of complaints from our members and also from the general public that there's deep-rooted and systemic mismanagement and there's corruption taking place at the Department of Transport. And that's why we also submitted a formal complaint to the Office of the Public Protector in September of last year, September 2001. So we've been fighting against this for a while. We know that there's leadership problems as well. I think we know that Minister Fikile Mbalula tweeted a couple of days ago that he just landed in Ukraine, which we find extremely bizarre and insensitive, thinking that there's a tragedy happening there at the moment. So it just speaks to the complete failure at the Department of Transport, and it's something that we as Afriforum are going to address, and we want to change for our members, but also for the general public.
Yeah, and it seems that, and I'm sure a lot of South Africans could agree to this, there's been a general lack of service delivery in government, or at least from government. But you're also saying that you're not only fighting for this grace period, but also for the proper, broader service delivery from the department. What other challenges have your members perhaps even complained about, raised concern about from the Transport Ministry or even department that you're also putting your eye on there?
Well, I mean, at the moment we're receiving a lot of license complaints, and that's why we've also taken on we've taken these steps to write the letter. But I mean, we recorded damning footage of corruption taking place at the Waterloo Test Centre. This was also sent to the Public Protector for this investigation. The Public Protector confirmed that our complaint from last year, the end of September, was being investigated. So it's at the moment we're focusing on the license aspect, but certainly members of the public are extremely frustrated by the Department of Transport, basically in all areas of its service delivery. So this is something that's on for us, and at the moment we're just focusing on getting this very, very important grace period extended, so that members of the public have that much needed breathing space to renew these licenses, and to actually, they're trying to follow the department's rules, and they just need to be given an opportunity to do this by the department, which is failing them.
All right, well, we leave it there, Raina, and thank you so much for speaking to us this morning. That was Raina Duvenach, Afriforum campaign office, of course, talking to us this very morning about their legal recourse at this moment, taking that letter to their lawyers, or rather advising them and instructing them to draft that letter. They will be pursuing in terms of extending that grace period. For now, it stands at the 31st of March. They wanted further extended to bring relief to South Africans, of course, to what they say is not their fault, that these systems have been failing them and the Transport Department can't come to party. They still feel that the 31st of March is too soon of a date to have that as a deadline. All right, we'll leave on you.